Ubisoft Jabba the Hutt's content unless you pay more, a gaming giant says no to Gamescom this year, and Keanu Reeves enters the Sonic universe. I'm Ash Dixon and this is Jinx News. Man, Ubisoft are having a bit of a PR nightmare lately, aren't they? Now, the whole Skull and Bones quadruple A game thing was so outright ridiculous it was almost endearing. Any benefit of the doubt was quickly removed though when they shut down the servers and revoked the license for a game that people had paid for. But it's okay guys, they've got a Star Wars game coming out, and if there's one thing that I've learned over the years, it's that it's incredibly hard to upset Star Wars fans. I apologise to any Star Wars fans upset at that sarcasm. But such a combination was always destined to drum up some spicy drama, meaning the rest of us could sit back on the sidelines and start placing bets on when was about to hit the— oh god, they've already annoyed everyone. I didn't even get to place my bet on my Jinx Plus Patreon subscription. No, I didn't risk it because I don't want it anymore. It's genuinely the most valuable thing I own. Well, it turns out Star Wars Outlaws is locking a Jabba the Hutt mission behind a season pass. No, paying the full $70 retail price will not get you all of the content. That would be silly. Instead, you have to pay $110 for the Gold Edition, where you get the Jabba's Gambit mission and 3 days of early access. Now, people are particularly upset about this because he's kind of an iconic character, and regular players would have to watch from the sidelines while those people with no respect for their wallets get all the fun, making us all feel less like Jabba the Hutt and more like Jabba the Cuck. Luckily, Ubisoft are so used to pissing people off this year, they've already responded with hyperdrive speed. They've come out and essentially said, don't worry everyone, Jabba and the Hutt Cartel, as well as being an excellent band name, are one of the main syndicates in the game, and they'll be part of the experience for everyone. Jabba's Gambit is an optional, additional mission for those who purchase the Season Pass or editions with the Season Pass. And now I see what you're doing, but come here Ubisoft, listen. If there's content available to play at launch, that's not additional content. That's content you removed from the base game and then put behind a paywall. Got it? That's what I like to call a quadruple A explanation. Now, I do think it's worth remembering that Ubisoft aren't the only ones who pull this stuff. Rockstar did it with Red Dead 2, and that's now one of the most universally loved games of all time. Because if a game is good enough, gaming companies can get away with all kinds of anti-consumer practices. It's what I like to call the Nintendo principle. That's right, we're gunning for everyone today. Luckily for all of them, you only have to look at the views to know that we're the stormtroopers in this situation. Either way, will you be picking up Star Wars Outlaws? Maybe you don't mind waiting until the price has dropped. Let us know down in the comments. As spring begins to bloom, we're all reminded that summer is just around the corner, and summer is the season for big old gaming events. Gamescom is one such occasion, although apparently this year, Nintendo won't be attending. They did make an appearance in 2023 as an exhibitor, showing off tech demos for their next console behind closed doors. But following all the reports that the Switch 2 has been delayed until early next year, it kind of makes sense why they're now not turning up. And it kind of has us all wondering how and when Nintendo are planning to announce this thing. It's also not a good sign for Switch fans this year, because yeah, they can't talk about their next console, but some new games would be nice, unless there are none except for the Switch 2 release titles. In fact, other than a couple of remakes, the only other 2024 first-party game seems to be Princess Peach Showtime, and that lasts like 6 hours. So yeah, Switch players will have fun twiddling their thumbs this year. And the great thing is, stick drift is so bad on the Switch, your Joy-Cons will do it for you. But don't worry, at least we have some other random indie games coming to the Switch. Like, what's this? Little Kitty, Big City, sure. Let's take a look. Okay, I can't lie, I do like playing as a cat. Wait, I get to knock over things, and there's silly hats. Game of the year! For real though, do you play your Switch anymore, or is it just gathering dust while you wait to play Switch 2 or Little Kitty, Big City? Let me know in the comments. It's time for the Quickfire Round, and old Johnny Silverhand himself has joined the cast of the third Sonic movie. Nope, not the character, that would be one confused if exciting crossover. I mean simply Keanu Reeves. The news comes off the back of Paramount's presentation at CinemaCon this week, where we were told that Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik/Eggman gets his groove back after creating Shadow the Hedgehog. And of course, Keanu will be playing him. Sonic 3 is due to be released in December. A Pokemon Go story now, and no, it's not 2017, and double no, the game is not dead. In fact, it's found a new lease of life in Antarctica. Yep, 2 Australian scientists who play the game have had a Pokestop approved after the partner of Raymond, he's the fella on the left, got tired of him not sending in-game postcards to her like a good partner would. Which he couldn't do because the only way to get them is through spinning those sweet Pokestops. Well, she did what most loving partners would do and took her frustrations straight to Reddit, and within a few days, a Pokestop had appeared. So while an IRL postcard may take quite a while to get back to Australia, at least Raymond can send her virtual ones. He should probably start with this fella. And to round things off, boomers rejoice because we finally have a handheld PS1 console. Sort of, because the model called Eveltal Griffin has created this. It's called the Hanami Cherry Blossom Viewing in Japanese, and by the sounds of it, it was a bit of a chore to make. To get it all to fit, they folded the original PS1 motherboard in half, replaced the disk drive with an optical drive emulator, and integrated a DualShock controller into it, but removed the analog sticks. Apparently the battery lasts around 2.5 hours, but Eveltal Griffin does admit that it gets nice and toasty after a while, so I don't think we'll be seeing this mass marketed anytime soon. But do you know what is mass marketable? This channel. That's right. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. That's what I do like every day. Yo, Di, have you heard of Jinx News?